Destiny. Um, I should have sent this out to you guys yesterday. I thought I remembered telling everybody we were going to do it Monday, but maybe some of you forgot. But it's so there's been some really cool things. I watched some videos today that are I have the best account manager I've had in 10 years. Like Lily Camacho is the best account person I've ever had. Her and one other person that's no longer with the company were really just served us, but Lily and Frank, and now I can feel a momentum switch in the company when I hate to say this, and some of you loved him, but when Darren left, things changed. Like it was a whole new. They merged corporate with marketing and sales, and I'll just say this: I saw today that TikTok banned network marketing from TikTok. Okay, so this is a funny thing. So Michael's going to like this. So there's a new app that I want to tell you guys about, and it's going to be hard for you to get on, but you'll get on eventually. It's called Clubhouse, but I'm just going to tell you guys, it's only for Apple users. Sorry. Mike already knows, I guess.
I
right?
just found out right before.
You're being mean to them, honey.
Yeah. What's that, Ben?
You're being mean.
No, I'm not. But let me just say this. So I jumped in a room today at lunchtime, and guess who I was in there with? The infamous Ray Higdon. Okay. So I know Mike's going to appreciate this.
That's who I heard it from.
Yes. Oh, you did? You heard it from Ray?
Yeah.
So the topic of the room was why is it good for network marketers that they banned network marketing from TikTok? And I actually got this from Brandon Cunningham. He did he does TikTok videos all the time, right? And so I took some notes. And so what I'm going to do is I didn't have time to type them up. I don't know if you guys can see this, but Ray Higdon gave me like 3 pages of notes today in a personal conversation between me and Ray. So I asked a question, and Ray's like, Michael, I think we've met several times before. And then he says, yeah, I remember where we met at ClickFunnels. You were talking to Nicholas Bailey. And so Ray has a very keen memory, right? And so do I. And I said, yeah. And I told him, right, like Mike can tell you, I can tell you things we talked about like years ago. He's like, how do you remember that stuff, right? And Ray's kind of the same way, right? And I think what was really cool about it is he said that he made one video inside of TikTok, and it was just a funny video, and he showed some of his awards in the background, and it got like 400 comments, right? And he said a lot of those were people that then my team followed up with, and he goes, I actually followed up with a couple of them and made some connections and got some people to have conversations with me. So what I really liked that he said is that there's a consistency of people being against our industry, right? And I'm going to tell you why. I had this conversation with a friend of mine today that it didn't go well for him. I felt like it went okay for me because I let my wife kind of read it, and she's like, "Well, you know, it's Jim." She just said, "You guys don't know him," so she said it's Jim. And so, hey Stacy, and so he made a comment that he'd been spammed by a lot of network marketers, right? And so I was like, "Okay, if you're taking notes, okay. So if anybody ever says this to you, you can say some things back to him." He said, well, I'm just so tired of being spammed by network marketers. He didn't say network marketers. He said MLMers. And so I said, didn't I just see you post something else that you were tired of being spammed by ads on Facebook? Clammed him up, right? Because I said, was it because it was an MLMer, or was it the way the person approached you? Because he freaking takes Protandim, he doesn't even know that it's an MLM until I told him today, right? So let's be realistic, right? And this is really funny. Ray said something pretty cool today. Ray Higdon said to me, and I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I now have enrolled over 700 customers since I've been involved in LifeVantage, okay? And I think it's getting close to 800 now. And and it's pretty much, some years it was 200 plus. And Ray said, Mike, you're in the top 1% of people that are in the network marketing industry to be able to do that. And he said, do you mind sharing, basically what you do? And I said, I just build relationships and I never give up on people. I don't push people. And I said, and he asked what company with, and he said, yeah, you guys really have a neat system now with your ITT system with 2 videos and then a follow-up call with somebody else, right? He said, that's how everybody should be doing this industry. He said, the problem is the spamming. And I said to him, I said, you know what? I said, I get spammed every day on LinkedIn, right? With people every single day, but I'm not going to stop being on LinkedIn because I'm getting spammed every day. So, I really think, and I'm sorry, I know you guys are, some of you non-Apple users, Clubhouse has really allowed me to build some really deep relationships just in a week that I've been on there. And so I'm hoping maybe they'll get it for, you non-Apple users, but because it really is a great platform. Okay. Oh, I don't have my mic. I'm sorry. You guys are saying I'm sitting here not. Is that better? That's better, right? Okay. All right. Because I was getting people saying they couldn't hear me. So sorry about that. But so what I wanted to share with you guys is Ray said something that was really, really cool. He gave 3 tips that if you're going to do videos of yourself being funny or doing something on TikTok, and he said, copy and duplicate. He said, if you see people and things that are working for people, copy and duplicate it, right? Just do it. Like, so I'm going to tell you what I did. How many of you have seen Brandon Cunningham do videos from TikTok on his stories? Anybody seen it? Mike has. Have you seen the one that he did? Hey, and I think I showed it to you guys. How come they don't have any B batteries? Right? Right. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I did this one. He goes, it just kind of goes like this. As the guy says, I think about things that people don't even think about. He goes, how come there's no B batteries? There's A. He said, but they tripled up on the A's, right? And so it's you doing the talking, and it's you kind of lip syncing and this guy doing the talking, right? And I got like 20 some clicks on it, right? And comments. And 10 of them were people I didn't know that now I'm building a relationship with, right? So I'm gonna put all of my stuff into Google Drive. I don't know if you guys are using Google Drive, but if you're not, you should be doing content and then putting it into Google Drive so that you can reprocess it later on. Don't take up all the storage on your phone or anything like that. If you have a Gmail address, which you all should have a Gmail address, you can use Google Drive for free and you just put all your content in there. So for me, I'm teaching you guys some things right now today that will radically change your relationships with people and how you build a business with people, because it'll shorten your time span. So let me encourage you something that I'm going to do a module on, and then I'm going to teach it to you guys after the first of the year. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to do some content that you can repurpose for the rest of 2021, and you can do it in 1 to 3 days. Okay. So and I would tell you to do it on like a Saturday. Just take a Saturday, block out your schedule, get in front of your camera, and you're going to have your topics. I'm not going to go into this right now because this will take me a lot of time to tell you. So I'm just going to give you a snippet of it. And then you're going to have all the topics that you can talk about. Now, I'm kind of disappointed. I mentioned this to Kamal and Jesse and this team today. Since Ryan Goodwin left, they have not updated any blogs on the LifeVantage website, which really sucks. And I told him that they need to get on. I think the last one was September or something, which that's not okay, right? And so, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some blogs into the files section of our LV Freedom Fighters Facebook page, and you guys can go in there and use some of them. You just have to do them in your own personality, right? Like, and I would tell you to do this. Start interviewing some of your friends on Facebook Lives. Just pick it, put it in your calendar. Lisa showed you guys last week how the app links up with your calendar. Just use your calendar and start scheduling some things. Like I'm going to call Mike's okay with me calling him out. He's did 1 Facebook Live with me. Now it's time for him to do some with David and Victor and some other people, Benet, whoever, right? and just have conversations. You know, hey, what are you doing for your health nowadays? How did you lose this weight that you lost? You know, have conversations. Like, I'm going to interview Mike during this time frame. I'm going to say, hey, Mike, you know, I've known you for years. You've struggled beyond your years. What is it that you can do? Guys, the only way you're not going to be, who wants to have a better year physically and financially in 2021 than you did in 2020? How many of you had a perfect, flawless 2020? Everybody's hand goes down, right? So, and you know, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to, as you guys know, I'm an encourager. So I'm just going to encourage, you know, I could say that I don't know somebody who has probably had one of the most challenging years of his life as David Forpaul, but yet he's still here and encouraging me, sends me awesome messages. I mean, having to, you know, just go through what he's went through with his father and just the things, you know, I'm supposed to be in Michigan today. One of my closest friends, Pastor Jim Baker's father, passed away from ALS. I will say this to you guys. He told me that he'll take our products for the rest of his life, him and his family now, because he feels like the products gave his dad an extra 2 months worth of life. Okay. They told him he had 48 hours to live when I started giving him to him. And now he's lived 6 weeks longer. So how many of you, if you had a loved one that you'd love to have around another 6 weeks, even if it was just, you know, 6 hours, right? So I think we've really been given a gift to be able to use these tools that we're going to be given. And so I'm going to share a couple things with you tonight that, look, okay, 5 of the Pro 10s rank advanced to Pro 10 in December. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys, even though we only have, you know, what do we have, 3 days left or something like that in this year? I know that, and Mike can tell you this. Mike can tell you, I don't get sick, but when I grind through it, right? Like I grind through it. Like I have conversations with you. There was, Mike knows me better than anybody. He called me when I was on the golf course and he told me to do some things. And shortly after that, when I got home, I got sick. Right. And I was like, I woke up yesterday and I was like, oh crap, I didn't do what I told Mike I was going to do. But here's what I do. I went and did it. And then I sent him a message and I said, hey, I'm sorry I got sick. You know, you know what I've learned from Marcel more than anything since I've been involved in this business is to always do what you say you're going to do. And when you screw up, get back. Let me challenge you to do this in 2021. Okay, here's some personal development. I said this to one of my high-paying clients today. I have a new client who's an artist, and he does 7 figures a year, and he makes some of the most incredible art stuff that's just unbelievable. And he plays the piano too. He's just a godly man. His name is Matt, and I'm working with him and his wife on Monday. And I said this to him. I said, Matt, what have you learned more this year than anything else? He said, Mike, to always do what I say I'm going to do. And when I screw up, don't just jump back up and repeat the same behaviors over. Learn what I did and don't repeat it. How many of you think that that's some wisdom right there? Remember me telling you the difference between knowledge and wisdom is action. Okay. It's action of not doing the same, repeating the same bad behaviors, right? Like, you know, like I'll just say this. I mean, you can look at Mike when he went through a very trying time recently, you know, health-wise, right? Had a surgery, couldn't exercise, couldn't go to Zumba, couldn't do things. And I just know it was eating him up inside. But you know what? He stayed the path. He stayed the course. He stayed focused on his eating and doing the things he needed to do. And then when he went back, he just got back in it. And now he's punching life in the mouth again. That's all you have to do. A lot of our issues that we struggle with is between our temples. Okay. It's between our temples. It's our mindset. For me, I've become a better husband. I've become a better friend. I can't change a lot of the bad things that I did. If I could do it, if I could do a lot of things over, I would, but I can't. I can only focus on here's my next challenge for you. And then I'm going to get into the stuff I want to share. I was praying before we got on that God would give me some stuff to say. I took some notes down. And so I want to encourage you guys to know that I can't change my past. I can only change who I am today. I actually like who I am today. Okay. There was a lot of times in my life where I struggled trying to like myself and trying to be somebody that I wasn't and trying to want things for people they didn't want for themselves. And I felt like the old Flintstones movie where I was dragging the person by the hair, right? And they were kicking and screaming and saying, bleep you, you suck. I don't want to do this. Leave me alone. Right. And I would say, no, you don't. No, you don't. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Right. And I ruined some good friendships and some good relationships, but I also know that God protected me with certain people. Okay. And I want to be the first to tell you guys this. I stepped away from leadership and building depth. Now, I'm not going away from building depth. I'm just letting you guys know that. Here's what I couldn't do. We bargained to have the calls 2 hours earlier because they usually start at 11 o'clock. Mike can tell you, I'm in bed by 10, right? And I'm up early. I'm a consistent 7.5+ hours a person. I go to bed, I get up when I'm supposed to, and I stay consistent at that, right? And so I just told Marcel, I said, it's not fair to the other people who are on all the calls. And I've not spoken on any of the leadership calls because it's too late for me, because it starts at 11 and by the time we're done, it's 12. And then I'm in bed at 12:30. Have you guys, if you've seen any of my teachings on sleep, you know that it's the most important time is the time you get up. Okay. I get up at 6 o'clock no matter what, because I know my better half is getting up and going to the gym at 6:30. Okay. And I'll just say this, my wife has been going to the gym almost every single day, which is just amazing. Right. Okay. And so I have, just like Dave said, it's okay to have your personal non-negotiables. For me, that's it. And I want to challenge you. Thank you for saying that, Dave. You all should sit down before this new year starts and find out what your non-negotiables are. Okay. What you're going to do different in 2021 that you didn't, and you're not going to let anything else get in the way of it. For me, I don't work on Sundays. Okay. For me, that TV doesn't go on during the day, right? I'm not doing that. I just took all games and stuff off my phone, right? I want to eliminate all the distractions that I can eliminate. How many people know that there's so many things that can get you distracted? Like, and guess who's the number one thing or person that can get you distracted? Yourself. Okay, is yourself. Okay, because you know why? And I'm guilty, because here's what we've done. We've done the same things over and over and over. And what is that called? It's called insanity, because we get comfortable. And when we're comfortable, nothing changes. You know, I recently had a friend of mine that I know that got out of a wheelchair, had some mental disorders, some things and orders. And I asked him, I said, what happened? And he said, I just got tired of being in this wheelchair. He said, I just got tired of being in this wheelchair. He said, and one day he stood up and he said, I'm going to do everything I can to get myself out of this wheelchair. He started going to the gym. He started swimming. He started taking cold baths in the morning. I saw Jesse Etzler, who's the owner of the Atlanta Hawks. I saw him swimming today in a pool that was 32 degrees. Okay. 32 to 33 degrees. So just above freezing. Right. And he's training for some ultra crazy thing that he does. But you know what? I commend him because he's committed. He's committed. My friend Myron Golden keeps his pool at 46 degrees during this time of the year because he goes out every morning and gets in it for 10 minutes. Okay. He's committed. So I want you guys to write a list of things out, and I want you to share them with me next week, because it'll be the first. It'll be after the first. Share with me some of the things that you're going to do different, and that you've been saying, oh, I'm going to do this. 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 And write them out and map them out. And I want you to post them somewhere where you can see them so that they're visual, so that you know you know what I do mine? I write mine on my mirror in here because Lisa doesn't come in this bathroom. This is kind of my bathroom up here. Okay. And she even, and it's this massive mirror. So I let her write on one side things for me because she's so encouraging. And then I write things on the other side. Right. So I just want you guys to say that. And I don't want to, yeah, it's kind of like a vision board. Absolutely. My wife says, absolutely. It is. It is. So I want to share just a couple quick things with you guys that, I found with these promotions and stuff that we have going on. Let me pull this up. So this is stuff that you guys can do. And I want to try to get off here. So maybe I wanted to do this a little bit earlier, but I just couldn't because I know there's a call in about 5 minutes. But if you don't have anybody on it, you can watch the replays on them. If you don't have anybody that you have going on it, tonight it's Blue and what I've been doing, they are recorded. Okay. So if I have somebody that I want to go to get in front of the person that's already spoken, I take the recording and I send them to them. So here's my ITT now. Okay. My ITT now is the first video, the second video, and then one of these recordings. Can you guys still hear me and see me okay? Okay. The second recording. So let me get where I've got this. Okay. Can you guys see the, okay, you can see the end of the year enrollment stuff. Okay. Okay. Can you see it okay, Mike? Okay. All right. So here's the end of the end of the year promotions. It started December the 15th. I think you guys knew that. They've retroed them back to December the 15th. So you get an extra Smart Start bonus. So you get the 40%. If you sign up a platinum, you get an extra $100 plus the 40%. If you sign up a gold, you get the 40% plus 50. And I'll just tell you guys this. Here's what you can do what you want, but here's what I would tell you to focus on also during this time period. People that have been customers or been distributors, I would get people that signed up for free during that free enrollment time, or people who bought a $50 starter kit. I would go back to them right now. And let me just say this. I saw this today. On a post on Clubhouse. Sorry. How you doing? And not good. And they said that 78% of people need a tax break right now. Okay. 78% of people need a tax break right now. Okay. So you can use this as my accountants used to work for the IRS. You can use this and they can get a $750 tax break. Okay. So that's what I'm saying to you. They, and then look at what it says. Receive an extra 75 in addition to the regular Smart Stuff when you sell a 750 platinum promo bundle. So what you can do is you can enroll somebody, on a brand new person, on a $50 starter kit, and then go back and re-enroll them on the platinum bundle. Now look, here's what's cool. I'm buying one. Okay. I'm going to buy one and I'm going to place it in my second business center. All right. And here's what's really cool about it. All right. Just look at it. All right. I can buy it. Okay. Underneath my second business center. All right. Who gets the bonus of the enroller? The first time is Daniel, and then the second one is me, right? Okay. So here's what's really cool. Look what it says. Finally, to make it even better, the platinum promotion is available for purchase for existing distributors only during this time period. Okay. Which means they're going to pay an extra Smart Start bonus of $75 to your enroller. Okay. So I look at it as a Christmas gift to my enroller, right? I get the tax break. I need a tax break. I'm just going to tell you, I need a tax break. Okay. I'm going to buy one because it's really pretty. How many of you guys have you guys seen what they look like? They're really pretty. Okay. Here, let me show you guys this. So they're really cool. Here's what they look like. Here's the platinum bundle right here. Here's what's in it. Comes with all this, comes with one of every product that LifeVantage has. Okay. One of every product. Okay. and it's a really cool display. It's set up really nice and pretty. And like I said, it's awesome. I can't see if you guys have questions. I cannot look. Oh, okay. You Canadians, sorry. I'm just kidding. You know, I'm just kidding. So, what's that? I didn't hear what you said, Stace. Did you say something?
The only problem with the enroller kit is you've got 3 products in there that are not available in Canada and don't have the bilingual writing on them. That's why we
the
can't
French
get
writing
it
and stuff. Yeah.
Which sucks, the big one.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll. Oh, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and say it. There's a possibility that they may keep it so that they can fix that and put it in everybody else's stuff. Okay. So just let you know, it's not a guaranteed. So don't say, oh, I'm going to wait. It's not a guarantee. Okay. But I will say this. So here is the new bundles that were just released this Saturday. Obviously, I was incognito because I was under the weather, which it's really hot in here. So I'll just say this. Here's the bundles. We have a Fit Body Foundation bundle, which is Nerve 2, NAD, Physique, Fat Burn, and Protein. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys this. Our protein is really, really good. Okay. It's 85% protein. Okay. It's 85% of the contents of the package is protein. You can ask any nutritionist, that's in the top 1% of all types of protein. Okay. If you want to recover better and build more muscle, it's also better for that. And Sherry just asked a cool question. Are the Axio flavors coming back? I will say this. They are deciding which ones are going to come back. I would say that there's going to be a couple that are and a couple that aren't. Okay. Just like when they took away my Pear Axio back in the day. Mike remembers how much I loved Pear Axio. I used to buy it from everybody. Every time somebody had some available. Actually, Cassie Teal sent me some right after the pandemic started. She found some in her cabinet and it was outdated, but I didn't really care. It tasted so good. I mixed it with some green grape and it was delicious. So, oh, Stacy asked for variety packs. I don't know about that. Stacy, that was one of the things they had, and they said they can't because of the packaging. So the way they do the packaging, they said they can't. So I'll be honest with you. I know they have a lot of mixed feelings about, you know, the canisters. I know it's not easy for them to take with them and hand to people and give to people, which is things, but I think they're going to make them all in packets from what we've been told. Yeah, Lisa's been asking for that for quite a while. She's asked that on a couple of different calls. So, here's customer service hours. December, they're going to have extra hours on December the 31st. I know that Lisa and I we're going to spend some time with our family and I'm going to work. We're going to work. We're going to share with people. I'm going to send the app out. I'm going to do a lot of follow-ups with people in the app. I've got 25 people that are within the next 2 days are going to watch the first video and the second video. And then I'm going to share one. So here's I said this earlier, I got kind of sidetracked when I was saying it, but here's my ITT for the end of the year. The first video, the second video, and then one of the 7 for 7, which tonight's is Fred and Blue. And you can watch the recordings of these. If you go into the monthly playbook on the website, you can find all of these recordings and then you can share them with people. So if you go and log in, you can scroll down and you can find all these. There's 2 more coming up. Let me look and see. I think my wife took my phone, but
Brandon and then Sean and Michelle both.
okay. I think Lynette's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, and then they're finishing it up with the post.
Okay, with Sean and Michelle. Okay, cool. Are they doing those by themselves? I thought Lynette was with somebody else tomorrow night, Mike. Oh, Mike's frozen. Mike, do you remember? Does anybody remember? Really quick. Let me just check in the playbook right here. I think it has them listed here in the playbook. Hold on one second. Just give me 1 second and I'll look it up because I know that they were. Okay, here they are. I got them. So it's tomorrow. It's Brandon and Lynette, Gabe and Jill Pearson, Sean and Michelle Poe, and Mark Shinsato. Okay, those are the ones. Okay, and so I would tell you guys to do this. Go here. Go to your playbook. Here's the Zoom link right here. If you want to take a screenshot of this now, you can. The Zoom ID. There's the Zoom ID and the password. And then if you scroll down here, here's all the recordings. Okay, and you can click those on and watch the recordings. And they're very short. I think they're 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. It's supposed to be really, 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 really short. So I will just say this to you guys. I am going to, I didn't get a chance to finish them, but for people who are on my team, I'm going to do some significant promotions in January, starting in January with enrollments and stuff. But guys, use these bundles. People are looking to get healthy right now, right? And David Forpaul can tell you that our products work. The 90-day, when we did the 90-day, when they had the 90-day challenge, let me explain something to you, okay? And we'll finish with this, and I'll let you guys go. And I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Here's what I want you to think about when you think about this. The things that I'm going to do is because I want to see people create habits. So all of my promotions are going to be around people creating habits. But here's what I want to tell you. People are watching you. Okay? People are watching you. They want to see you active. They want to see you losing weight. They want to see you exercising. They want to see you, somebody on this call was recording his workouts a lot. Somebody that lives in, I think it's like Indiana or somewhere like that, was recording his workouts an awful lot and posting them on social media. And then all of a sudden I stopped seeing them. And so I'm going to challenge him to get back to doing that, right? Get back to sharing your workouts. Mike did it the other day. We talked about it. He went to the gym. He says, wow, it's great to be back in the gym, right? So there's how many of you have downloaded that that little app that I told you, the Hyperlapse app, where you could hold the video, you could do a little bit of your workout for like a minute or two, and then it would condense it into 15 seconds. Use that. You can even use it on an Android or whatever other phone you guys use. Okay, just saying, Stacy.
What was the name of that app again, Mike?
Hyperlapse.
Hyperlapse. Thank you.
Yeah, it's got like a little red circle type of thing. Lisa stole my phone.
Just so you know, I don't need an app for that. That's a setting on my camera on my Android. Just telling you.
Okay. See you on Clubhouse, Michael.
Touche.
It's like the Giants. Just kidding.
Worst case, we go buy a used Apple and do it on there.
Yeah, I've got one I can tell you.
Yeah, and then just leave it in the closet once you're done with the app.
Well, guys, I hope this encouraged me tonight. Like all these notes I took from Ray Higdon.
Can I ask you a question about Ray Higdon?
Yeah.
I'm in his group. I pay money to be in his group.
Nice.
And well, yeah.
But no, you can't be in Clubhouse.
No, yeah, but he just did, and I didn't pay the $40 US. He had other entrepreneurs, multi-level marketers come on that had made money on TikTok, and he did a special on TikTok training. Yeah, it's really good. So I forgot this, but so before you go, I'm going to share this with you guys. There was 3 things he talked about on TikTok. He said copy and duplicate. He said do duets. Okay, so voiceover. So like Mike could do something with me and we could sing and dance. If we were closer, we could, but do something with your spouse, right? Do something funny with one of your spouses, right? And, sing a song. Like Lisa and I found some really cool ones I think that I'm going to talk her into doing with me. But you can do them with a friend, right? You can do them with a friend, or you can do them by yourself. You can do some of those funny ones. And then he said, always have something in the background. Okay. Always have something in the background that you can talk about, right?
And I think that was great. The one lady that was on there said she's following a guy. This is really funny. She said she's built a relationship with a guy who's a chef that every morning on TikTok makes gourmet meals for his dogs. Okay. You guys know why she's following him? There's a niche, right? She's a vet. There's a niche, right? You guys have heard me talk about this for months, right? I want you guys to be better doers, you know. This was asked by me, and this is the last thing I'll say. This was asked by me by my grandmother when I was growing up. She used to say to me, I've told you a lot of stuff. I think I was probably, she died when I was in my early 20s, right before I moved to Florida. Sucks. I think I was about 18. I was getting ready to go off to college, and she said, what's the number one thing that I've taught you that you remember that made the biggest impact? Okay. And you know what it was? To not just be a hearer, but be a doer. For me, it's it's not just hear the word, go to church, hear the word, but be a doer of the word. Right? And for us, it's hear these things and do them. Don't repeat the same bad behaviors. Don't be that person that my buddy Jim said spams him with, crazy stuff, right? Be the person that's in groups, building relationships. Map out your schedules. Some of you guys have the time to be able to do things. You're just not doing it. That's the bottom line. Ray said it today. He said, so many people come in and they purchase things and they do things, and then they're really super excited, and then woof, he said they just disappear, or they do it their own way. They hear it, but then they do it their own way, and they never get the results that they want to get, right? And so what I really liked about it is he said, if you just do these three things on whatever platform you're on, like for me, I'm taking, I bought a YouTube course. Okay. If you didn't get the LinkedIn course, bother me about that. I sent it out to everybody. So just, if you didn't get it, don't complain. I sent the email to everybody. If you didn't get it, just comment to me in Facebook Messenger. It'll be easier to get it to you in that. Okay. Because email is not the easiest way to do things anymore. I used to think it was, but now it goes to spam, or just, so I'll send it to you in Messenger. But I'm going through a YouTube course, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but Sam Bahitz, which is one of my favorite followers in the health and wellness industry, passed away at 47 years old with a heart attack. And this breaks my heart. I'm not attached to it, but it breaks my heart. Him and I had started to build a relationship. And he said to me, he says, Mike, he said, you look really young for 52 years old. And he said, I see you're in direct sales. And he asked me some other questions. He said, hey, would you educate me about some of the things you're doing? And I did, but he never followed through. Okay. He never followed through. I can't be attached to Sam not following through. But what I want to tell you guys is there's a lot of healthy people that you see. It's one of the things I don't like about Instagram. You see all these girls with their clothes off and, their abs showing and all this stuff. But on the inside, they're not healthy. They're doing that because they know it'll attract people to them. Right. But on the inside, they're dying because they're insecure, and they're probably eating a cheeseburger when they're not on Instagram, right? We all know this is true, right? So I want you guys to have, the Bible says to have ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart that's receptive to take action on the things that you learn. So if you've learned anything this year or today, because I'm recording this, I'll put it in our group, our Facebook Messenger group, go back and listen to it. Take action. I can tell you what, we usually, I think last week we had about 22 people in here. There's 8 or 10 people that are normally on here that needed to hear what I said tonight. Okay. So they're going to have to go back and watch it, right? And take action on it. You want me to just tell you this? I'll be transparent with you. I say this to Mike all the time. And I'm going to let Mike unmute yourself, because I want you to answer this. Who probably learned the most tonight of everything that I taught?
You
I know
did.
I did. He knows it every single time. Stacy knows it too. Stacy and I follow a guy named George Bryant. Okay, George, his algorithm is relationships beat algorithms. I know Stacy's watched him. He gives tons and tons of value, more than anybody on the internet. I don't care what anybody says. He gives more value than anybody on the internet. Gives you his courses. Just gives. And the guy makes multiple 7 figures. Okay. All right. Close to 8 figures. Let me tell you what he just did. He just sold everything he had and moved to Wyoming. Okay. He was living in Arizona. He was in California and then he went to Arizona. He sold everything he had and moved to Wyoming and bought a big like ranch, right? And he's like, and if you watch him, he does what he teaches other people because he learns when he teaches other people. Okay? A lot of people that I'm not learning from now because I see them repeating the same behaviors over and over. There's one person, two people in LifeVantage that I've learned from more than anybody because they are super consistent. Their message has never changed from day one. Sherry can tell you, she knows exactly who I'm talking about, is Blue Elam and Marcel Niederhauser. Nothing. Oh, George's birthday is today. I'm going to call him. The consistent messages of never changing. You know, it's why you see the people like Rob and Summer advancing. You know, you see like when Sherry left, Clinton and those guys weren't affected. They just dove back in and rebuilt back up their organization, right? That's because nothing changed. They're always being consistent and growing and evolving. So just do yourself a favor. Write that list down. Focus on it. We'll talk about it next week on Thursday. And let's just allow ourselves to finish the rest of this year. Don't coast. Take some action. Share with some people. People are looking for tax breaks. Okay. I called 6 people today. One of them is going to take action on it. Right. I'm going to call 6 tomorrow and 6 the next day. Right. Maybe more. Okay. My chiropractor signed up all his kids. Right. So I know that when you have ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart that's receptive to wisdom and knowledge, you take action. You don't just hear it. This is very profound. Okay? This is very profound, and this will end everything that I've said. So this happens this is an example I want to use for you so that you see the relevance and the value of this. Okay? When you go to church, for those of you that do, when you hear or you hear a message of anything, like you hear a teaching from George or Ray or whoever, do you know that 3 days later you'll forget 90% of what you heard? You'll forget 90%. We used to do this. We used to do this in our Bible study. We'd have Wednesday. We would have sermon review, and you would know who took notes and paid attention, right? Because they would be the one answering all the things on sermon notes and review, right? And that's why I say I took like 3 or 4 pages of notes today, and I met with a coach today that Lisa and I met at a after Thanksgiving party at a girl from her churches who's a coach and was looking for multiple streams of income. You just constantly build quality relationships. One of the things I like. Tony Robbins always says, even though you've gained wisdom and knowledge and you take action, he said, don't just take action, take massive, determined action. Massive, determined action, which means that you're intentional, that your mind is in the right place, because most of what you guys will do going into 2021 is a lot of people are happy that 2020 is going to be over, right? But that's a mindset thing. That's your mind saying, oh God, this was a horrible year. Everybody in employment. And and don't be offended by this. If this, please don't let this offend anybody. When I was shopping for my wife, she was super happy with all the stuff I got her, by the way. I told you I got one Christmas present. That's it. One. She got like 10. But here's the thing I noticed. How many healthy people do you think I saw when I was out shopping? Minimal to none. Okay. People pushing walkers in those little chairs that you push and you sit down because you're too tired because you can't get around. That's the real pandemic. That's the real pandemic. My friend Myron Golden said it best. He says the coronavirus has been around since I think my wife said something like 1930 or something, right? Isn't that what you said, babe? Yep. Since like 1930, right? But here's the thing. Now all of a sudden we're wearing masks and people are dying on this stuff, but yet people are dying of heart disease and cancer and diabetes and all this other stuff too. But now we're just we recognize this as one thing. And guys, you got to remember, my father got COVID, right? I had friends of mine that I've been helping. I don't know if you saw my stories today. A guy that I helped, 39 years old from my church, was going to die, was in the hospital. I took Nerve 2 to him, and 4 days later, he came home from the hospital. So you guys have that same opportunity, you guys. Be bold. God's given you ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart that's receptive to change and grow and be more. This should be your number one goal in 2021. To become the person that you weren't in 2020. Be that person in 2021. For me, I'm going to be a better husband. For me, I'm going to be a better friend. I'm going to be a better worker. I'm going to strive for, nobody's ever perfect. There was only one perfect man. And none of us are never going to be perfect, right? But here's the thing. Relationships, George says it all the time, relationships beat any algorithm or anything that you'll go through in life. You know, it's funny. Mike and I would probably say some of my best friends in the world are on this call right now, right? Mike and I joke around. He called me the other day. I was playing golf. And the first thing I said to him was, hey, you want to buy a good set of golf clubs? He said, is that bad already? And I said, no, I'm just kidding. Because those of you know, I just bought a pair of new clubs and they're kind of not as good as I thought they were. So, and I don't want to tag with the guy and go back through it with him. But what I realized is that those moments, David Forpaul, when I was sick, texted me and encouraged me and said some really awesome things. That's what life is all about. Becoming better than you were before, becoming that person that you've been called to be. So that was my encouragement for you guys today yeah, right, Stacy. I was playing really good, actually. I told Mike I was even par like through like 10 holes. So, and I shot one over. So, but here's the key is that if you guys can't look back in 3 days, 3.5 days, 2021 will be here, right? We can't look back at what happened this year. The only thing we can do is focus on the things ahead. Not looking back, but pressing forward towards the calling, to the mark that we're aiming for. When you pull back that bow and arrow, you're aiming for a target. You're not just shooting anywhere, right? So hopefully that today encouraged you and that you'll go and have a happy New Year and in the rest of it. Hey, if you need me, you guys know how to reach me. I blocked out my schedule because I'm going to take massive action. I'm going to dive in the next couple of days and just really be intentional. And it's going to be hard for me because I still haven't recovered. I'm only about 70%. I'm sitting here sweating like crazy because I know these lights are crazy, but I'm still sweating because I'm not 100% feeling better. But I just want to tell you guys that I love you guys. I appreciate all of you so much. The encouragement of community is the most important thing that you can have in life. And so I just want to say,
hey, Mike,
Merry Christmas. Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Hey, I just want to add one thing because I deal with this talking to my team as well with Ben and Q and those guys. That I know that TikTok thing came out and there was the Snapchat thing that came out and there's this thing that came out. And all I think about is when John Maxwell says, if we go out and hit one tree over and over every day, consistently 5 times, eventually that tree's going to fall. You stay consistent, you'll get the tree down. But if you go out there and you start smacking this tree and then smacking that tree and smacking this tree, which means you're dabbing in this and dabbing in that. Oh, it's the new hottest thing. I got to jump on it. I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out LinkedIn. I got to figure out YouTube. I would suggest you find out one thing that you can be good at, be intentional with it, and then use the process to build relationships and speak about the business. Because if I would have did that and not jumped around and stayed with the Facebook story ads, which probably are kind of a lost cause at this point, the way Facebook's running things. But look at all the success and all the people that I was bringing in and at least doing calls with that story ad. But then I started jumping around. I started doing this, I started doing that, and I wasn't getting as much action. So I suggest, just because someone's doing it and having success with it doesn't mean you have to do it. If you can and you can learn it, great. But don't just jump ship on something that you're doing well with, that's trying to build, just to go to the next newest thing. Amen. And then falter there.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I'll just say this was going to be a good. Chris said it, actually, if you guys could see this, I put stay in your lane here to finish up with. Here's the thing. Ray said, pick one lane and stay in it. And once you've mastered one lane, then you can pick up another lane. But until you've mastered one lane, don't pick up another lane, right? Like Ray has teammates. Like I have virtual assistant that can do what he said is once you've mastered one, then just duplicate it in the other platforms. So focus on one, but like Chris said, stories are the best way to do it. But Facebook has kind of jacked those up recently. So, keep doing them. Don't stop doing it. I believe it'll come back around because they're going to be challenged or they'll be gone. And then, so keep staying in and focus on one thing. For me, I'll just say I'm, for LifeVantage, I'm going to focus on one thing. Right. And so, I'll tell you what that is when I perfect it. Right. So I'll pick your lane. Because the one that I'm going to pick is going to stretch me, but I'm not going to tell you until I master it. So, but I'll teach you some things when I go through it. So, Chris, thank you so much, guys. I love you. Happy New Year, and you guys be blessed. I really.